Hello and welcome back. We are actually jumping into the game between Acer and Drub.esports. In fact, a teamfight just went off and the Acer came out ahead basically. And triple kill on the turret and Pokestyle Celeber and 760 escaping on less than 5% HP. So calculated or luck, pretty much calculated in my opinion. It's not one of those things where it's burst. It's more one of those situations where you back off when you need to back off, and that's just a trademark of a good player. So once again, I am joined by my co-caster, the awesome, the amazing Spuddington.
You stole my joke. Sorry, I can't say anything now. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
get
get silent.
dunked.
Rest of the cast.
Bye.
Have
Didn't
fun
you,
on your
you
own.
do anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Janna's floating around with an oracle.
Yes, she will do that. Actually, she likes to clear wards and stuff. But yeah, right now, what I'm seeing from the compositions of the enemy teams, it looks to me like Acer are kind of going for a very mobile, split-pushing kind of team. They have Nunu, Udyr, Vayne, they have Shen, they have a lot of split-pushing capability, they have a lot of objective-taking capability. They are also pretty much set for late game, because if it reaches that really late game stage, Vayne is going to become a monster, and they're going to have one of the best teams to peel for her, because they'll have Cassiopeia ult, they'll have Shen ult, they'll have Udyr with a very strong front line, and they'll have Nunu to be in the way, slowing down the enemies with his ultimate and his snowball, and obviously bloodboiling her too, so that her damage goes even more through the roof.
Yeah, you cut off a bit there, but actually, Acer looking for gank. Well, what's going to happen? Loxton actually jumping in on mid, straight onto Celeber, ultimately goes down, misses, and turn around with the Petrifying Gaze. It goes down by 760, keeping him alive, but not really catching up to him. Celeber did turn around immediately, and now could be in a bad position. Lands the attack once again, and 760 diving in with the Shadow Dash, but honestly not sure he's going to pick up the kill onto Greedy Noob. And Greedy Noob, that's quite apt. Lolpro jumping straight onto Zron's, jumping out of there with the flash. Another flash from Lolpro. One more auto attack will stop it from happening. Pins him against the wall, but we're not able to follow up on that one. And interesting enough, like we haven't seen too much from Drub.esports as a team. And before I said I've never really seen Lolpro lose his lane as an AD carry, and he's losing his lane. So that kind of gives you like an idea of how strong Drub is as a team. Like, they're not well known as even like Mal's and the likes of Curse EU and those guys, but they are pretty good. They are pretty good. I know Deadly Brothers Zons and Nibslol. I've seen them before, and they are pretty good players. And from what I've seen, Greedy Noob and Praz is also doing very well. So yeah.
Yeah. That being said, Vayne is a very easy AD carry to shut down. Early game, she doesn't really have the trading power that other carries like Corki have, because she doesn't have the same kind of burst, and she's very dependent on Silver Bolt procs, which a good player won't let you get, because you have to land 3 successive auto attacks to get the damage out of it. But
Lolpro actually jumping in with her ultimate and farming. Pokestyle coming in from the side, however, Nips coming in from the side as well. Meeting him will be Jute, however, and Vayne will just get an opportunity to fall back a bit and carry on farming. But she has used the ultimate. It's on a fairly low cooldown, however, and it's easy to forget that as that damage there. Greedy Noob coming in from the side, just putting down the pressure with the control, put that immediately down, and Penetrating Gaze goes in, lands the ultimate on 2 people. Acer, Super Ace popping the ultimate from over the wall. Pokestyle will be picked up by a fantastic Miss Barrage lead, and Celeber now in a bad position. Ron's just chunking him down. Double kill goes out from Deadly Brother, and now Super Ace with the first to fall into the hands of Greedy Noob, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go onto Baron right now. Do have that Shen split pushing, and that's the power of Shen. However, it doesn't really matter when your team has been chunked off so quickly. You can't react to teleport in, essentially.
Yeah,
and
part of the problem there, yeah, he has it on cooldown. They basically allowed themselves to be engaged on at a time when Shen's ultimate wasn't up, and hence...
Oh, Lolpro could be caught as well. Ultimate goes down just to secure that kill. That was brutal. Wasn't even necessary, but 10 out of 10 for style. So they will be teleporting back home.
Have death give you... Yeah, it's that's really made this game a lot more in Drub's favour. The Baron buff, they're going to win any team fight pretty much, like especially considering they've actually got some very strong AoE. Like, they've got Orianna, and actually they've got Orianna with a Nocturne, and that's a really great synergy because when Nocturne dives in on the enemy, Orianna can attach the ball to him and can cast her spells from him, essentially. Use him as a as a sort of mobile spell deployment missile, which is obviously you can't stop Nocturne jumping into you. I think maybe Janna can push him back actually, but yeah, he can dive into the middle, and then Orianna can follow up, and then on top of that you've got Kennen jumping in, and you've got Corki, and you've got all sorts of damage coming in from an awful lot of sources.
Now, interesting enough, I was just thinking about it, and you said the same for Nocturne, but you could put it on Kennen, and then he's locked down in place, basically. He can't be pushed away because he's got Zhonya's, and you can use him as a focal point instead. And that will be equally as strong, depending on the positioning. So you've basically got 2 focal points to choose from, which are already going to be, well placed. So, yeah, it's pretty strong as a composition, thinking about it. Very strong indeed. You have the control, you just have a lot of control, and of course you have straight up synergy, because you've just pulled them back into Slicing Maelstrom. And right now, Acer are being pushed in, and this is where Acer and Moscow 5, teams like that, are weakest. If you can get ahead and then push them in, they hate games like that. They hate getting to late game. I believe there was an interview lately, I think it was with Moscow 5, where they said they hate getting to late game. They like the mid game and like extending the game, but they can't go to late game. And if you siege Acer, they have no response to it as a team. That's not how they function.
They can, I mean, obviously they're still competent at it. They're just they can't use their strengths of mobility and map awareness nearly as strongly if they're being forced in like this. They can't go somewhere else on the map right now because the enemy will push down their top inhib if they leave it. Frankly, it's looking like they might do it anyway.
Now Talon very low health, and it looks like they might want to go for the dive. Wood goes down over the corner. Nice, good job. So yeah, like, they're going to chunk up this tower and then look for the dive. Wisely Acer are backing off. They know that they can't overextend because that will just mean an inhib gone and probably the game. They simply just need to stall, and it's just, as we were saying, a difficult situation for Acer. They have Vayne, they have good scaling, or can they utilize it?
I honestly think they're going to have a lot of difficulty with it. Even, like, right now, they just can't clear the waves fast enough to keep the towers alive. I mean, maybe when they reach their inhib turrets they'll be able to do something, but right now, nothing. They're boxed in, and yeah, they can wait for the Baron buff to wear out, but I don't think that's really going to change things very much. Greedy Noob just wasted his ult. Well, I guess he kept them out with it, but yeah, he didn't hit anyone with it either.
I'm not sure that's me, or if that's... I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, he basically uses ultimate, and it was a bit of a waste. But there was also a flash down from Cassiopeia. So, oh no, it wasn't Cassiopeia. What? Oh, Vayne. There was a flash from Vayne. Okay. So yeah, it was a flash for an ultimate, which is too bad, obviously, because flash is on a longer cooldown, and then Greedy Noob's ultimate. But still, it's not ideal. They lose the team fighting potential, basically.
Yeah, and they want to farm and get to late game, but objectives are going to come up and they're going to be forced to do something about them or fall further behind. And this is an untenable situation for them to continue like this. They have to make some kind of play. And Shen is doing a good job of that. Like, right now he's forced them to send Nocturne top, and meanwhile LOLpro was just kind of free farming at bottom, like not really pushing it. They need to get their lanes pushing. They need to keep Drub on their toes. They need to keep them away from a grouped up team fight where they'll just win every time. But at the same time, they don't have much vision, Acer, right now. They don't have much vision in their lower jungle, and they have some vision in their upper jungle. But that means that pushing out bot lane is so unsafe for them. They just don't know where the enemy are, so they're not going to risk going out there. But if they knew, they probably would, and it's really what they have to be doing.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, Drub are just doing what they need to do. They're continuously sweeping the jungles, so you have the threat of basically, well, you can't go in your own jungle because you could have 5 men on you at any time, blindsiding you. So that's good. Constantly sweeping the jungle means you can do that. And again, it keeps the pressure up. It's forcing Acer into a corner, which they're really they really can't get out of, and that's what they can't do. And as you said, they need to get the lanes pushing, but at the same time, they're moving as a unit and just pushing them back in. They're just batting them down every time they try to do something. It's basically like, can they store, and do they have a better late game? And they probably can. Like, they have a pretty good late game, but can they store fast enough? I mean, Cassiopeia can hold a lot of people off, but at the same time, you have a lot to try to pull them out of their turtle hole.
Yeah, plus Baron will come up in 2-3 minutes, I guess. That's gonna be the focal point, because they can't afford to let Baron go to the enemy again. They'll be at the point then, being so far ahead in gold and so far ahead with Baron, that they can just push in and tank towers, siege them really hard. And they have Orianna as well, actually, which really helps with that. In fact, they've got Orianna and Janna. They've got spammable shields. They've got the ability to have someone just walk up to a tower, take a few shots, but take no effective damage, and then back out. And meanwhile, Corki can do some serious damage to the actual tower itself. It's a pretty good synergy between them, especially considering Orianna's shield increases armor and magic resist, which will make Janna's shield last longer.
Synergy, but it really is quite massive synergy, because you can take all that damage, as we were saying, and then you can have the AD carry just wailing on it, and there's no massive counterplay to it, and you've literally essentially taken no damage. The counter to it, of course, is just engaging on them outright, so that, you know, it's just you only get one of those shields, that shield burst happening, but
right now they can't
don't have the
afford to do
opportunity
that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what's putting them in the bad position. And in that case, you have a pretty snowbally team in that respect, because you get ahead, they can't engage on you, you never fall behind, unless Acer can make the play, and that's what they're trying to do. Baron is up, Blue is up as well. They need to take that, and I wouldn't be surprised if Drub are going to go for this invade. Who picked that up? I don't think. Yeah, at least one of the Celeber picked them up. Yeah, he's got the blue buff. But they are around Baron. Whether they can fight this, whether they can stop them, is two different questions. And all goes out. Ultimate goes down as well. There's the shockwave. Ultimate with Nibs low. He doesn't pop the Zhonya's in time. Ultimate goes down by Super, slowing down everyone in the vicinity. Really taking a lot of that. Will be burst down. Celeber coming in from the side as well. Ultimate with the monsoon will push everyone away. Celeber trying to kite them out, and the Miasma will go down. Lolpro coming in from the side, just constant damage from the edge from Celeber. That will be the shutdown, 5 for 2. A fight that really looked in Drub's favour was completely turned around. They were trying to get near the carries, and they were kiting them like bosses. They literally couldn't get near, and 760 was just hitting them. Celeber was throwing in the Twin Fangs, and both carries are still alive. Wow.
Yeah. In many ways, the hero of that fight is Nunu.
Yeah.
Because Nunu ulted right in the middle of them, and that made it so hard. They didn't have the CC at that time, or at least they didn't want to spare it to give it to stop Nunu's ultimate mid channel, and Nunu was just slowing their whole team and making it impossible for them. They just couldn't get near them. And Vayne and Cassiopeia are really amazing at kiting. Like, Vayne has Tumble on like a 3-second cooldown and has Condemn on, I don't know what the cooldown is, but it's a knockback, and that's a serious thing when you're trying to keep up with her. And they've got Cassiopeia with the Rylai's, with the slows on every ability, and the ultimate as well, which is also a very good counter engagement, because I think she locked up Kennen when he was trying to get into the middle of the enemy team to ult, and that, you know, set him back majorly. And yeah, Acer now are very much back into this.
Yeah, that was just one perfect team fight, and that's what they can do for you. If you get the right people alive, if you get the right type of team fight, then you can easily turn the game around. And very interesting, I think it was Condemn which pushed Kennen out of the fight. And that could have been one of the deciding factors, honestly, because he got his ultimate onto a couple people, but it was quickly denied, and the rest of the ultimate was not able to do anything. And I actually think that Kennen popped the Zhonya's when he was away from that. In fact, Shen counter smiting, and Nibs will take a lot of damage. Will he pop the ultimate? There it goes. Celeber on the rim of it. Lolpro fighting 2 people by himself. Super Ace probably also over the wall. 760 essentially picked with the kill onto Greedy Noob. Meanwhile, Lolpro is still trading off with Zhons, and he can really not do anything. Third pop will go down. Another auto attack will finish that one off, and now Craze out of possession will be picked up as well. Pokestyle coming in from the side. And Deadly Brother is just, not in the best of positions. And that will be the ace. One person dying, that will be Celeber.
Yeah. Lightning
crazy.
fast turnaround there.
Yeah. Wow.
2 team fights there that they've just won, and the turning point was that other one, where Acer was just pinging it. No, it was Drub was just pinging that team fight. I think where they realised that they possibly just lost the game. I don't know. Can Shen and Odia tank this? Can they kill it fast enough?
I don't think they can finish.
No, they can't finish, but they could probably take some Nexus towers if they wanted them. But they've decided they'd rather play it safe and go for the outer towers. Honestly, that suits them just fine. Right now they're in a very strong position. And they're not going to take that tower?
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised. It seems like Acer could have just had Udyr tank with Turtle Stance shield and his armor. I mean, how much armor does he have? 176. That's, yeah. He's taking very significantly reduced damage from the tower.
I get the feeling that they don't want to overcommit. Like, they're really good at making those timing pushes, but then again, we didn't see the first 20 minutes, of course, but maybe Drub have punished them for the timing pushes that they're making and not taking them lying down. And they're reacting to them well, so maybe they're thinking, okay, we've got this advantage, we're turning it around, we don't want to throw it. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because they've got into that mindset where Drub have the potential to stop them from making those great timing pushes that Acer are known for. So yeah, right now, amazing. Really, those two team fights, and Vayne is back into it. She's scaling really well right now, and has actually gone for the Infinity Edge over the Bloodthirster, but kind of needs it just to stay in contention. Really, just have the Vampiric Scepter, and that's really all the lifesteal you kind of need from Vayne when it gets to that stage. And then you have the Guardian Angel, which will keep her alive.
The Guardian Angel really is the critical factor that just made it so that Acer will probably win the next fight if they're in a good situation. Because Drub right now really wants to die.
Oh, 760 could be caught. Actually, Shadow dashes for the wall, and he will be absolutely fine. Books out along with Super and the rest of the team are now following up, and just counter-warding. We're back in the position where we had Drub, who were in the jungle sweeping it constantly, and now Acer are doing the same thing. But the difference with Acer is, okay, Drub have a nice team fight, they have double AP, but they have Shen. And Shen's always going to be Shen, who's going to be split pushing and putting you in that pincer. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nasty thing to have to deal with.
Acer have that type of team who stay ahead.
They do sort of have a counter in that they have Nocturne, and he can somewhat push a lane and arrive late to a team fight, but not be so far out as to not be relevant at all. But it's not something you want to be doing. See, right now, this is classic Shen. He's top. Kennen has been forced to go top, or he's going to lose the tower. And right now, they are not going to be looking for that fight. I'm surprised. Cookie Style probably wants to dive this, but no, they're just going to siege. And honestly, they have no reason not to. Like, that was half the health of that tower. And what did Acer lose for it? Nothing.
Yeah, and
bit of Cassiopeia's health.
But then again, Pucky starts taking a lot of damage from just Corky's damage. So maybe they're like, okay, we can dive, yes, but it won't be 100% favourable. Like maybe a couple of us die, they could potentially turn it around. It's not safe, and the shockwave goes down, but they all do that all much damage to Celever. Maybe chunked off about 200 HP. They will be taking that turret for their trouble. So honestly, it didn't really pay off, and I get the feeling that Oriana's damage is just sort of scaled off. Like, she's got all the control, yes, but she's really strong in mid-game and the very mid-game and mid-early game. And then, of course, like, just when it's starting to transition into mid-game, because she has the control, she has the great poke, but when it gets to the stage, she's got less damage, she's just got more of the control. And yes, you still have cannons make up for it, but with a double AP composition, that's just generally how it works. Like, you have a double AP composition, and it starts to scale off when it gets to the late game, and that's where the AD carries start to peak.
Yeah. Cassiopeia doesn't really scale off though. Like typically an AP can. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Pausing the game. But yeah, typically Cassiopeia doesn't fall off when she's hit the late game because her damage scales extremely well with the AP. And yeah.
Yeah. Noxon was just saying one before pause, but there's nothing happening. So.
Killing a super minion, it's important.
Yeah. Who will win this battle of the Titans? I'm not sure. Pause could have put a spanner in the works for Kennen. We had to...
Who had lost a duel with a super minion in the past?
It could be quite an intense fight. Yeah, it probably has gotten to that point where it's like Supermans are spawning, and you've just come in back into the game, and you're like level 5 or something because you've disconnected, and it's genuinely like a battle of who's gonna win, who is literally literally gonna win. So that must have been a thing at some point. Those Supermans really do hurt, even on level 18s. Like they do hurt. They've got some significant damage on them.
Well, they're designed for punching through, you know, those towers at the end, which regenerate, and yeah, they're actually sort of a damage threat, even in a late game team fight sometimes. If there's enough of them, you know, when there's 3 inhibs down, and there's a team fighting another team, it can actually make the difference slightly. If only by body blocking sometimes.
That's always the problem we have by minions, is like, okay, the game will be resuming, but minions can get in the way of skill shots. It's like Brand's ultimate. It's like if you always fighting minions, then you've got the chance of, well, his ultimate just hitting minions and not really damaging your team. Obviously they're making updates to that now, which is really nice, instead of making it random, but again, that's always been a difficulty with Brand, and you're always looking for those jungle fights, really, away from the camps as well. So it's very situational, where you can actually use Brand's ultimate without going derp, and then just like 75% of your damage hitting minions.
Yeah, I've seen it before actually. There was a video of a Brand who had like a certified double kill, running past the Wraith camp in that small gap there, fired it at them. It just hit one person once and then bounced off into the Wraiths and was never seen again. Oh
wow.
Yeah, they couldn't even see the Wraiths, I think.
Well, 760 has been caught, or has caught a Janna, but she will be out of their high mobility. But,
catch of the day!
That must be really irritating though, really. Like, that's one of the annoying things with bounces and some of the random factors you get with... It's like Yee's Alpha Strike, it's like with his jungle. It's very hit and miss. Sometimes he can just clear them instantly, and sometimes it's like, so slow. But Acer will be forcing the Baron, in fact. Very interesting. Ward will go down. Are they going to carry on with it? Probably not. Counter Ward's going down as well. For Inhibitor has respawned.
This is again those really spammable shields, because Shen and Udyr are taking no damage.
Yeah, but then again, ultimate goes down by Super Ace, has been interrupted. Ken not really getting his ultimate on anyone apart from Nunu. Pukistal was taking a lot of damage, will be out of there. Ultimate goes down with the Paranoia going straight onto Pukistal. Not the person you really want to be zoning Salva, and Flowpro just ripping into the Fear has gone down for an exceptionally long time. Kratos will fall. Deadwood coming in from the side will get some damage on 716. We'll pick that one up along with Nocturne. Lolpro leading the charge back into them. Deadwood are actually going to juke into the brush, and they do have that water, so they can turn this one around once again. Deadwood will be falling into...
What?
What? That was
Zombie!
Weird. Okay, so both going into Guardian Angel, but he did just float in the air for a couple of seconds. Greedy Noob will back off. He should be safe. Just have the command protect. Are they going to chase it? Are they going to push? Most likely push. In that time, however, Inhibitor did go down, and yeah, Vayne just saying, "What did just happen?" Question mark. I am of the same opinion.
I think what happened was that Corki died.
Oh, Super Race taking a lot of damage from Greedy Noob. One more to attack will finish him off. There it is. However, Super Ninjas are pushing down the Nexus turrets and have taken one, and yeah, Inhib following as well. Oriana coming in from behind. I don't know if this is a good idea, considering Lolpro is there. Shockwave goes down, misses. This could spell doom for Greedy Noob. Command attack goes down, ultimate up once again from Lolpro, and there's the third for a godlike Lolpro. And Bookstar will be back up. 2 Inhibs down and 2 Nexus turrets down. Wow.
Yeah. I think what happened with that Corki thing, by the way, was Oriana threw her shield towards him, and then he died. But because the projectile was in flight, it came in and gave him some health bar back effectively. So the game got confused, because it's like, he's on not health. But actually, wait, no, he's got some health. He must therefore be upright, and therefore it played like the kind of standing around animations. And then he resurrected as normal and was restored the health.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I would definitely agree. It was very janky, to say the least. It was just like, what?
Best online technical.
Yeah. But, right now, 8k advantage, pretty much, to Acer towers, or 10 structures, is just like, they are in a good position, and they haven't got the type of team to fall behind, really. Like, they're only really going to get stronger, and the composition, again, is very, very strong for staying ahead, and that's generally what Acer and Moscow 5 teams like that do roll. Like, they roll teams which are really good at roaming, high mobility, and when they get ahead, should stay ahead. So, yeah, and Surrender Vote actually failed as well. The other team cannot see it. Now, I believe that's a feature that has been implemented, which can make sense, because, you know...
They need to give the winning team any more psychological advantages than they need.
Or maybe that's like a counter psychological thing. It's like, okay, we're going to surrender vote, fail it, and it's like, okay, you've broken us, and then they come out with a miraculous play. So then again, for the mind play, it's I can understand for like normal games like in solo queue, but for like arranged buys, I think they should change it back because it makes for some very interesting moments.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting actually. They pushed them up into their base, and they've actually sent Nocturne along to the side because his ultimate pretty much reaches top. And Nibs will be initiating with the ultimate, pops down the Zhonya's Pocky Style, and Super is the only one really. Ultimate going down from Orianna, absolutely amazing, tagging all of the enemy players. Ultimate goes down by 760, a bit too late, however. 3 people have already fallen. 760 trading off with Johns and Craze, but nothing's really going to happen, and it's going to be a slow, painful death. Or they have realised that Bear is rushing to their base with the super minions wailing Dick Groove. However, Craze and Nib, they have realised Orianna coming in from the side as well, looking for this to get picked off. Zeron's also tagging along behind. 760 behind Greedy Noob. Will he get something done? Command Protect goes down, Pokestyle coming in from the side as well. Definitely Grot doing absolutely nothing. Still Trace not Command Protect will get the kill. 760 is now chasing after Zont and Crazy also then another shield goes down. And the Ranji will pick up the kill eventually. Does have the... Wow, he's just living forever, now taking out Craze. What? Shen just refuses to die.
Shen,
popping
never
the feint,
die.
and now Johns is actually backing off and fearing the worst. Ken is the only one who can actually defend, and 3 super minions is pretty strong. How can you really contest against it? Top is pushing in as well. He is forced to back off, and Shen, when it gets to that point in the team fight where it's 1 versus 3, it's like, okay, you've lost your damage. Oh wait, he's just like sustaining and what, we can't break it now, and then we just run away. It's like, it gets to that point when you have those type of temperatures. It's like Jax as well. We get into those awkward situations, yeah.
He's got Warmogged, hasn't he? And his Vorpal Blade restores a % of his health. He's got a lot of health. He's restoring a lot of his health when he throws in his Vorpal Blade and does some damage. And he managed to take out the serious damage threats himself very quickly. That was kind of what happened there. But Shen, it's the combination of having a spammable shield, having a lot of health, having a health restoration ability, and having just enough damage that the enemy can't really quite deal with it.
And Nibslog going in for the initiate once again, only really landing onto a bruiser, that's being 760, but he is like the bruiser. Also goes down by Cellar, chunking off 3 members of their team. Greedy Noob looking to do some damage as well, but only landing a shockwave on 1 person this time. And Jala will be falling, Lowpro following after as well. And yeah, this looks like a 1 game for Acer right now. Exposed Nexus, Inhibitor will be respawning on the bottom lane, but it doesn't really matter. Nexus will be falling. 760 jumping onto Deadly Brother. Ultimate goes down with the Paranoia, looking for the kill onto Super Raid and Celeber. He will be slowed, however, by that Perma so that they can offer Celeber surviving with 20 HP. And this will surely be the finish. And kind of dying on the spawn pad. Sometimes. GG, well played from both teams as well.
Very nice turnaround there by Acer.
Pretty crazy game, yeah. And before we jump into the final, which will be very soon in fact, because that has ended, anything to add?
I don't really have much to say actually, beyond that it was that one team fight, that really good team fight where they just held them off, and that, you know, yeah, it can happen, you know. It's not always a foregone conclusion. Everyone who plays solo queue, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it was just a good turnaround. And anyway, until the finals, guys, we'll be back soon. So yeah, stay tuned.